Hi future teacher, and welcome to this Pre-K through 4 practice test covering Module 1 for people who want to become a licensed teacher in the state of Pennsylvania. This video is proudly presented by teacherpreps.com, the #1 choice for test prep to pass your teacher certification exam. The practice test in this video is created to explain the answers of the full-length timed practice test answers inside our Pre-K through 4 test prep. We do not recommend that you watch this video unless you have completed the timed test and are here to watch to gain insight into why each answer is correct. If you are not enrolled already, simply visit teacherpreps.com and click the blue button in the top right corner labeled Get Test Prep Now. Without further ado, let's begin. Okay, I'll read the question, you pause the video and check your response, then I'll provide the answer explanation. Here's the first question. A preschool teacher observes that a child, who usually plays alone, has started engaging in play with peers during outdoor activities. According to Vygotsky's theory, which of the following best explains the significance of this change? The correct answer is letter C. Vygotsky's theory emphasizes the role of social interactions in cognitive development, suggesting that learning is inherently a social process that is mediated by language from people in the child's environment. Which developmental milestone is most typical of a child in the concrete operational stage of cognitive development according to Piaget? The correct answer here is letter B. Remember that in Piaget's theory, children in the concrete operational stage, typically ages 7 to 11, develop the understanding of conservation, that certain properties of objects can remain the same despite changes in the form or arrangement, showing advanced cognitive development. Great, let's keep it moving. A preschool teacher observes that a new student from a non-English speaking family is hesitant to participate in group activities. Which of the following strategies is most effective in supporting the child's social and linguistic development? The correct answer for this one is letter B. Keep in mind that integrating the child's cultural and linguistic background into group activities not only validates their identity but also provides a bridge to new learning experiences, promoting inclusiveness and supporting development in multiple domains. In a classroom focused on enhancing problem-solving skills, a third-grade teacher introduces a series of puzzles that require students to apply both logical reasoning and arithmetic operations. This method effectively promotes cognitive development primarily because it. The answer here is going to be letter D. By requiring the application of multiple cognitive skills, such as logical reasoning and arithmetic, this method fosters higher-order thinking, critical for developing complex cognitive abilities in students. This approach aligns with developmentally appropriate practices by providing challenging yet accessible learning opportunities. A fourth-grade teacher integrates a unit on Pennsylvania history into the social studies curriculum, aligning the lessons with the Pre-K 4 learning standards. This integration is most effective because it. The most appropriate response here is letter B. Connecting curriculum content to students' local context not only meets educational standards, but also enhances engagement and retention by making learning relevant and meaningful. Excellent job so far, let's keep going. A teacher designs a classroom layout with various learning stations that include reading nooks, science experiment tables, and art corners. This arrangement primarily supports children's learning by. Correct answer, letter A. The diverse learning stations encourage students to engage in activities that interest them, promoting autonomy and motivation, which are crucial for effective learning. This environment respects and supports individual learning preferences and needs. A second-grade teacher uses visual aids, simplified text, and interactive digital tools in a lesson about the life cycle of a butterfly. This approach is most effective because it. Here, the best answer is letter B. By integrating visual aids, simplified text, and digital tools, the teacher addresses the diverse learning preferences and needs of students, including those with disabilities and English language learners, enhancing overall comprehension and engagement with the material. A preschool teacher is planning a lesson on community helpers. The teacher includes books and materials that represent community helpers from various cultural backgrounds and languages spoken in the students' homes. This approach primarily supports diversity in the classroom by Correct answer, D. By incorporating materials that reflect the diverse cultural backgrounds of the students, the teacher ensures that the curriculum is inclusive and representative, allowing all students to feel valued and recognized in the learning environment. A third-grade teacher uses a formative assessment strategy by giving students a short quiz at the end of a math lesson to gauge their understanding of fractions. How does this type of assessment support the teacher's instructional planning? For this one, the correct response is letter A. Formative assessments are designed to provide real-time feedback to both teachers and students. This allows the teacher to adjust instructional strategies and address any gaps in understanding before moving on to more complex material. A second-grade teacher is preparing to assess students' understanding of a math unit on addition and subtraction. The teacher decides to use a criterion reference test. What is the primary advantage of using this type of assessment in this scenario? Correct answer, letter B. Criterion reference tests are designed to measure how well students have mastered specific skills and concepts as defined by the curriculum. This type of assessment is particularly useful in determining whether students have achieved the learning objectives for a particular unit or lesson. A fourth-grade teacher is designing an end-of-unit assessment to evaluate students' understanding of fractions. To effectively monitor and adjust instruction based on students' needs, which strategy should the teacher prioritize when creating the assessment? The correct answer for this question is letter D. Incorporating a mix of question formats that test both skills and concepts is crucial for identifying specific areas where students may struggle or excel. This approach enables the teacher to adjust instruction effectively based on a comprehensive understanding of student learning. A second-grade teacher uses a combination of standardized assessments, classroom observations, and progress monitoring tools to evaluate students' reading abilities. What is the primary benefit of using multiple indicators in this assessment process? Correct answer, letter A. And that's because using multiple indicators provides a detailed and nuanced understanding of each student's learning progress by offering different perspectives on their abilities. This comprehensive approach is essential for identifying specific needs and tailoring instruction effectively. A fourth-grade teacher is preparing to administer a reading comprehension test to a class with diverse cultural backgrounds. Which approach best demonstrates ethical assessment practices? Tailoring the reading passages to include a range of cultural perspectives ensures that the assessment is inclusive and relevant to all students, avoiding cultural bias and promoting fairness in testing, and for this reason, the correct response is letter B. Moving on. A teacher is preparing to administer a math assessment to a student with a documented learning disability. Which of the following practices best reflects legally compliant modifications and accommodations? Correct answer is letter A. Providing extended time and a quiet testing environment are recognized accommodations that help mitigate the impact of a student's disability without altering the measurement of the assessment's objectives. An elementary school teacher uses an online learning management system to track student progress in a science class. Which of the following practices best illustrates effective record-keeping of students' performance? Correct answer, D. Systematically updating grades and providing detailed feedback for each assignment on the LMS helps maintain an accurate and current record of student performance, facilitating timely interventions and continuous support for student learning. A teacher wants to improve how they communicate students' progress to families. Which strategy would be most effective for establishing a proactive partnership with families regarding assessments? The best answer here is letter C. Providing access to a digital portal allows families continuous and direct access to assessment results, facilitating ongoing. A teacher is planning culturally responsive instruction for a diverse classroom that includes several English language learners. Which strategy best demonstrates an understanding of the influence of cultural values on teaching and learning for these students? Correct answer, C. Embedding multicultural perspectives into the curriculum through a variety of mediums not only respects but actively engages with the cultural values of students, making instruction relevant and inclusive. A teacher is explaining the concept of register in language to a class with several English language learners. Which example best demonstrates the difference between academic language and social language? The correct answer is letter A. That's because this option clearly illustrates the practical use of different language registers, highlighting how formal academic language used in a structured educational setting contrasts with the informal, relaxed language used socially among peers. A middle school social studies teacher is designing a unit on American history for a class that includes several English language learners. Which approach best demonstrates the integration of ELPS and Pennsylvania academic standards to make content comprehensible for English language learners? The correct answer here is option B. Incorporating visual aids and using simplified English are effective strategies for making academic content accessible to English language learners, aligning with ELPS by supporting language development. A preschool teacher observes that a child in her class is not engaging in play with peers, rarely makes eye contact, and does not respond to her name. Which of the following conditions could these observations most likely indicate? The best answer in this case is letter A. The behaviors described, avoiding play, eye contact, and not responding to names, are characteristic signs of autism spectrum disorder, which impacts social-emotional development and necessitates further professional evaluation. A teacher is planning to enhance classroom inclusivity for a student with visual impairments. Which of the following accommodations aligns best with the principles of universal design? Correct answer, D. Offering class materials in both large print and braille ensures that the student can access the information in the format that best suits their needs, adhering to universal design principles by providing multiple means of engagement and representation. You're doing great, let's keep going. A general education teacher participates in an IEP meeting for a student transitioning from preschool to elementary school. Which of the following contributions is most appropriate for the teacher in this context? The best answer here is letter A. The general education teacher's role is vital in suggesting practical accommodations based on a detailed understanding of the curriculum, which ensures the student can actively participate and benefit from the general education setting. A teacher in an inclusive classroom uses scaffolding techniques to assist students with disabilities. Which of the following examples best illustrates effective scaffolding? The correct answer here is letter A. Effective scaffolding involves adjusting the level of support based on the student's evolving needs and competencies, allowing them to become increasingly independent in their learning. A PreK-4 teacher is involved in implementing the individualized education programs for students with disabilities in her class. Which action best demonstrates the teacher's adherence to legal responsibilities? Correct answer is letter B. Actively participating in the regular review and adjustment of IEP goals ensures that educational provisions are appropriately tailored and continuously adapted to meet the evolving needs of students with disabilities, fulfilling legal and educational responsibilities. A teacher is integrating knowledge of family systems theories into her teaching approach to better support her students' development. Which strategy best aligns with this understanding? The correct answer is letter A. Encouraging active participation of family members in educational activities supports the concept of family systems theories by reinforcing the integral role of families in children's development and learning, enhancing the connectivity between home and school environments. Alright, on to the next problem. A teacher wants to ensure that communication with families is consistent and effective in supporting students' development and learning. Which approach best demonstrates this practice? The answer option we'll select here is letter A. Regular check-ins via phone or email ensure ongoing communication and provide opportunities for timely discussions about student progress. This consistent communication helps build a strong partnership between the teacher and families, which is essential for supporting children's development and learning. A teacher is working to enhance her cross-cultural competence in the classroom. Which strategy would most effectively support this goal? The correct answer is letter C, and that's because building relationships with students' families allows the teacher to gain first-hand insights into the cultural values and perspectives that influence students' learning and behavior. A teacher wants to connect a family with resources in the community to support their child's social and emotional development. Which of the following actions would be most effective? We'll go with option D this time. Remember, providing the family with information on a youth mentorship program that focuses on building social skills and emotional resilience directly targets the child's social and emotional development needs. A general education teacher is working with a special education teacher to develop an instructional plan for a student with an individualized education program. Which strategy would be most effective in ensuring that the instructional plan meets the student's needs? Correct answer, C. Regularly scheduled co-planning sessions ensure that both teachers work together to continuously refine and adjust the instructional plan. This collaborative approach allows for the integration of specialized strategies within the general education curriculum, providing a comprehensive and cohesive plan that addresses the student's unique needs. A pre-K through 4 teacher aims to establish a positive social context for learning in her classroom. Which strategy would be most effective in achieving this goal? Correct answer for this problem is letter B. Regular classroom discussions that encourage students to share ideas and listen to others help to create a respectful and supportive classroom environment. A teacher is working in a school that participates in a federally funded pre-K program designed to support low-income families. Which of the following is a key guideline that the teacher must adhere to under this program? Correct answer, B. Federally funded pre-K programs, such as Head Start, emphasize the importance of family involvement in the educational process. Regular communication and participation in program activities are key guidelines that support a holistic approach to early childhood education, recognizing the role of families in children's learning and development. A pre-K through 4 teacher observes signs of potential child abuse on a student. The teacher's legal and ethical responsibility is to. Correct answer, letter C. Teachers are mandated reporters of child abuse, meaning they are legally obligated to report any suspected abuse to the proper authorities. A first-grade teacher shares a particularly heartwarming anecdote about a student with a colleague during their lunch break. This action is. The best answer here is letter C. Sharing specific details about a child without parental consent, even in a casual setting, breaches confidentiality and is considered unethical. A pre-K 4 teacher finds a student alone and unsupervised in the school playground during recess. The teacher's primary responsibility in this situation is to. Letter D. Immediately secure the child's safety by bringing the child to a designated safe area and initiating a search for the supervising adult. The teacher's first priority is the child's safety and well-being. A second-grade teacher is concerned about a student's significant developmental delays. To effectively advocate for this student, the teacher should first. Letter B. Collect and document evidence of the student's developmental progress. Gathering comprehensive data on the student's development is crucial to building a strong case for advocacy. A key component of professional growth for a pre-K through 4 teacher is. Letter C. Collaborating with colleagues to share and adapt effective strategies. Collaborative learning and sharing best practices are essential for professional growth.